He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the Gadget Professor. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. We are on episode 129, and if you're watching the Gadget Professor show tonight, that means you're not Halloweening. Not one of my favorite holidays, but what the heck, what can I say? I do like getting those extra Twixes, candy bars tomorrow, because I do admit I like those. I don't like chocolate, but for some reason, I like those. So if you're new to the Gadget Professor, welcome. I'm so happy that you tuned in. If you're old to the Gadget Professor, welcome back. Let's get rid of some of the, how do you see the Gadget Professor? How do you get in touch with me? Well, of course, the easiest way to do that is to see the Gadget Professor is to go onto our webpage, and our webpage is thegadgetprofessor.com. When you get on thegadgetprofessor.com, scroll about halfway down, and right here you'll see sign up for the newsletter. I suggest that you sign up for the newsletter because what that will do is every Thursday evening, Arizona time, when the episode is posted, you will immediately in your inbox get all the show notes. And what the show notes are totally free. And they are a synopsis of everything that we discussed during the show. They are basically all the URLs that we talked about, and they're all hot links, so you don't have to take notes while you're listening or watching the Gadget Professor because you'll get the show notes. Also, you can like us on Facebook. That would be Facebook.com/Gadget Professor. We also announce as soon as the show is up on our Facebook page, and I'd like to welcome Ken, I think it's Womped, who just signed up to the Gadget Professor. Welcome on board. Ken liked last week's show, and rumor has it that he actually bought one of those iFi cards. I love mine. Ken, I hope you like yours, and welcome on board. We're glad to have you. Also, if you want more of the Gadget Professor, and this is a really cool page, as everyone knows, I love my my RebelMouse page. It's a RebelMouse /the Gadget Professor, and essentially what this is we're on Twitter probably 70 to 100 times a day. We tweet, and pretty much every new gadget or every new piece of cool technology that's out there, I tweet about. And what this RebelMouse page does is it actually takes all those tweets and essentially aggregates the photos and the copy that goes along that you can't write on the tweets because it's not long enough. And it shows you a beautiful visual display of everything that's cool and new. So if you go to my RebelMouse /Gadget Professor page, and it's totally free, you can go back to this every 15 minutes and it changes. And as you can see, there's a ton of stuff on there. And what's neat about this page is it's constantly changing. And I actually look at it a lot during the day so I can get my information for the next Gadget Professor show. So you want to check that out for sure. So a couple things I would be remiss in my duties as the Gadget Professor, because it is Halloween, to point out that it was 75 years ago-ish. I'm not sure about that. 1926, October 31st, the great Harry Houdini passed away, and every Halloween there's usually seances all over the world that try to reach the spirit of Harry Houdini. And I hope that they reach his spirit, because he was a cool guy. And I will tell you folks something that I know you're not going to believe. It's trivia, but it is true. The question is, do you know where the Harry Houdini Museum is? I bet you don't. However, the Gadget Professor, as most of you know, was born and raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And believe it or not, that's where the Harry Houdini Museum is. I've never been there, but a couple of my friends have. I'll have to check in with them to see if they've been there recently or the museum is still there. But why it ended up in Scranton, I used to know the story, but I don't. So, moving right along on the Gadget Professor. Don't worry. We have a cool gadget today. Here it is. It's a Foscam security outdoor camera, and I have a lot to say about that, so you want to stay tuned. But moving right along, in the news of the day, I have to tell you that another one of my favorite dudes is Orson Welles. Orson Welles and Vincent Price were probably my two favorite character actors, and I really liked Orson Welles. He was totally a brilliant man, and oh my God, what a voice. Anyway, Orson Welles, 75 years ago yesterday, actually had what they call the Night of Mischief, and he had a broadcast on the radio called The War of the Worlds. And it's quite a fascinating story, and if you have nothing to do or would like to go back and be a little nostalgic, go check out The War of the Worlds and listen to that some night on your MP3 player or even on the internet, and turn all the lights down and think that you were, way back when, 1938, when this broadcast was originally aired on NBC, and think about how scary it was. So if you've never heard The War of the Worlds, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and Orson Welles was definitely a cool guy. So let's move right along into some tech news of the day. This is kind of a funny article to me, but not really. Adobe hacking attack was bigger than previously thought. Okay, so you figure, how much bigger was it? Well, initially they thought that 2.9 million people, 2.9 million customers, their accounts were hacked, and also stolen an undisclosed number of Adobe usernames and encrypted passwords. So finally, Adobe came out and said that it wasn't really 2.9 million people. It was 38 million. Well, you can do the math. There's a big difference between 2.9 million and 38 million. So they finally owned up to it. It was probably more than that. So, I constantly talk about the cloud and security, and Adobe is certainly a name brand. They should know how to keep their things secure, but obviously they didn't. 38 million affected viewers. Okay, I'm not going to harp on that. Rolling right along with the security issues, we have the latest Snowden. Everybody knows who he is, or should know who he is. Documents reveal that NSA infiltrates Google and Yahoo data center traffic at will. So that means anytime they want to check out what you've been searching or who's been searching what, they can just dial into Google and Yahoo. I will have the article in my show notes. Here's the diagram, how they do it, and pretty scary stuff. They're probably checking in on the Gadget Professor as we speak. More news. We're not done yet with news. At last, the FAA gives you the green light, or will give you the green light, to have your gadgets functioning while you are on the plane. The government safety rules are changing to let airline passengers use most electronic devices from gate to gate, although you still have to stow your stuff during takeoff and landing. Passengers will eventually be able to read ebooks, play games, and watch videos on their devices during all phases of the flight, with very limited exceptions, the FAA said Thursday morning. And everyone must put their gizmos down during the safety briefing and listen up. For heaven's sake, you don't want to miss that. So you can read this article. Again, it will be in the show notes, and I'm glad they're finally loosening up and letting us at least read our what am I going to say? Our books, our ebooks. Thank you, and play games. Now, getting into some free software. This is the coolest program. I have been using Total Commander for years. And essentially, it's like your file manager, but it's on steroids. And you get two windows side by side where you can quickly find files, drag and drop files. It has an FTP client built into it, which I use. Thumbnail view of custom columns, definitely enhanced searches, compare editors, cursor in a list line, separate trees, all kinds of enhancements to that typical file manager. So you definitely want to download Total Commander. It's shareware, it's free, and as I said, I highly recommend it. I've been using it for years, and it's compatible across all Windows platforms, no matter what version of Windows you have. It will work, so check that out. Now, looking at some crazy cool gadgets, the Gadget Professor, for some odd reason, has a fascination with LED lights and colored lights. I don't know why, but I do. There's something that's very exciting to me about it. So JBL Pulse audio system has a new thing called Sparks LED Light Show. JBL has just announced a new audio product called the Pulse that provides more than simple audio playback. While the internal speakers provide something your ears will enjoy, the Pulse has also managed to put in a multicolored integrated LED system to provide a light show. The speakers also feature integrated Bluetooth technology. Along with the Bluetooth technology, JBL uses NFC technology for instant and easy pairing with compatible devices. The LED show is programmable and pulses in tune with the music. The device has a pair of high-performance 40mm drivers and a custom bass port. So there it is. You can actually go on YouTube and see a video of it. Kind of neat. Work up to 10 hours on batteries. I didn't see anything as to how big or small it is, but I did watch a video for a couple seconds, and it was kind of cool. Maybe they will be generous enough to let me have a demo. We shall see. Now, let's talk a little bit about privacy, because we always talk about privacy, but this is a free app that you can add to your Chrome and I believe your Mozilla browser. This is called Baine, and it's protect your privacy as you browse and shop on the web. You can mask your email, your phone, and your credit card as you browse and shop on the web. This particular piece of software was featured in PC Magazine, Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, CNN, and CNET. And essentially, it beats spam and unwanted emails. Mask your email directly from the email form fields across the web. Mask Me, which is what this is actually called, shows up when you want it and prevents all future spam. This also will mask your phone number directly from the phone form fields across the web. Mask Me shows up when you want it, and it allows you to block any caller that you want, and it keeps going on. Create masked cards directly from online shopping fields to prevent unwanted fraudulent charges. Prevent privacy-friendly business model. Unlimited mask. Emails and passwords are free forever. For more privacy, you can upgrade to their premium account to protect your phone and credit card. Just $5 per month or $45 per year. It's an add-on to Chrome. If you click this button, it will actually add the applet onto your browser, and it's a very handy tool. I've only used it 3 or 4 times this week, but it works pretty well, and I'm on the free version because you know me. But it does work, and it's something to check into. They also have another program called Delete Me. That's $129 a month, and you can read about that. And they also have one, Do Not Track Me, and that I believe is free, and that's pretty cool too. Now, as we're talking, let's see if we can get this to come back up here. We were talking about keeping things private. Well, your Google account right now actually has settings on that you're essentially allowing Google to share ads and use your name as an endorsement. So that's not coming back up, but it's basically called shared endorsements. So what you want to do is you want to log into your Google account. You want to go to settings, and there'll be a place on the settings that says endorsement or shared endorsements. This is what the screen will look like. And what you're going to do is you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and right there where it says save, if you look over here to the left, it says, based on my activity, Google may show my name and profile photo in shared endorsements that appear in ads. Well, mine is checked, and guess what? Right now I'm unchecking it. And from now on, based on my activity, Google may not share my name and profile photo in shared endorsements that appear in ads. I mean, damn. I mean, we all use Google. I like Google, but boy, they're getting a little bit intrusive, and you got to read every word today. So I would recommend that you go into your Google options there, search around, and there's several things that relate to your privacy. Read them carefully and uncheck the ones that you don't want. If you want your picture and your name shown in endorsed ads, then by all means, knock yourself out and click that. Click it on, but I clicked mine off, and now I'm going to hit save. Am I sure? Am I sure? Yes. When you disable this setting, your friends will be less likely to benefit from your recommendations. Well, if you want my recommendations, watch the Gadget Professor show every Thursday evening. Okay, so we're going to continue. It failed to save. That's because it's been up for a while as I'm doing my broadcast, but I will go back there and resave that. Now, last but not least, this is a service that I just found out about. It's probably been out for a while. I am going to test it out, but it's a very cool service put out by Sony of all people, and it's called Pixelcast. And what Pixelcast is an exciting new way to share videos and photos with friends, brought to you by Sony. Construct a video or slideshow of your vacation, a family event, or get together with friends. Then send a link to others to check out your experience or invite them to collaborate by uploading photos and video of their own. So this is pretty cool. They do have a subscription-based service if you want. They have a free service, which is the one, of course, I'm going to test out. The free service has 500 megabytes of storage that you get free. The Plus version gives you 5 gigabytes, and that's $49 a year. And then they have a premium service, which is 10 gigabytes a year, and that's $69. And there's also some restrictions on the size of the image that you could put up, how many pixels, but you can read all that. But it looks pretty interesting, and I'll have this in my show notes so you can essentially read all about it. And it looks pretty cool. I will let you know. Now, last week, I had talked about the teletalk device that I had, and I couldn't get a hold of them, and I thought they went out of business, and as of right now, I'm still under that impression. My phone number in Rhode Island, if you call it, is dead. They kind of have it locked up, so I've got to essentially find a new service. I'll probably go back to Vonage, because that's what I have a bunch of other phone lines and services on Vonage, and transfer that number. I'll have to sign some paper saying that yes, indeed, it is my number, because at this point in time, that company has my number licensed under them, and they're out of business. So these are the types of problems that you can run into when you use a service not with the quote phone company like, well, let's say Vonage. There was a company called Sun, I think it was, that was a phone service. I was with them for a while. They went out of business. Magic Jack comes to mind. They are still in business, but whenever you're using a third party like that, remember, you own your phone number, and if the company goes out of business, it's up to you. The onus is on you to call another company and to get that phone number reseated to another company that you choose to do business with, so keep that in mind. And now let's go to the gadget of the day. This is an exercise in frustration for me. Foscam has been around for a while. It's hard to do a search on internet security cameras and not come up or see the name Foscam. I have dealt with them multiple times over the last 2 or 3 years. I hate bashing a company, but I haven't had pleasant experiences with them, although I do have multiple cameras that I use that are Foscam cameras that are still working. So that said, today we're going to talk about their outdoor camera. And the outdoor camera looks just like this. This is the front of it. Here's the back of it. You'll notice there's an antenna and a wire, which we'll get to in a minute. And on the top and also on the bottom, there are screw mounts for a typical normal tripod mount, so that you can mount this on. It doesn't have to be a tripod, but it's the same thread so that you can mount it upside down, and you have a piece of software that comes with this camera that allows you to reverse left and right, up and down, so you can mount the camera any which way. This antenna is strictly for the reception of the Wi-Fi signal, because this will work on Wi-Fi. Now, with regards to the other end of the plug, well, there's 3 things that you have to be aware of. One, which is fairly simple, this is where the Ethernet cable would actually plug into. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, then you have to plug it into an Ethernet cable, which is fine. The other thing that this has, which is kludgy as far as I'm concerned, this is where you plug your power in, and it comes with a little power pack. This is all provided, and essentially, obviously, this has to plug into the wall to get power, and the other end, of course, would hook up there, and this plugs into the wall, and henceforth you are supplying power to it. Now, the last piece, which unfortunately I can't show you, and I'll tell you why, there's a third wire here, and there was a little button that you would click to reset all the settings of the camera. And the reason you would click that or want to reset everything is because from time to time the cameras crash. And if you are near the camera, the easiest way to reset everything is just to push this little button. Well, let's take a look at what an indoor camera would look like. And this essentially is what an indoor camera would look like. This is a ball that will rotate up, down, left, right. And most of your security indoor cameras, there's lots of different ones out there. The Foscam, there's one that's called WANSView. This is actually a WANSView camera, but they're all pretty much the same. The antenna for the Wi-Fi would hook right there. Here's your jack, if you will, the plug for the Ethernet cable, and of course the power supply would be here. These indoor cameras also have relay settings so that you can set them and wire them, if you're sophisticated enough, to a relay so that if there's motion in front of this camera, it actually could set off a buzzer or something else, but we're not going to get into that too much. So essentially the difference between an indoor camera, this, and an outdoor camera is pretty obvious. The outdoor camera, this is an aluminum shield, and this will keep this from the rain, snow, sleet, hail, and heat, all those things combined. So I have had 2 of these cameras, and I've had them, I bought them at the same time, and essentially one lasted for a year, and one lasted for a year and a month. Both my outdoor Foscam cameras are both dead at this point. And the first thing to go on both cameras was this, the power supply. It just died. So while this may be waterproof and heat-proof and everything else, this unfortunately is not. And I believe that if rain seeps into this, or the cold gets to it, or the heat, they die. Not a big deal, because I can go to Radio Shack or Target and buy a multi-powered adapter that has the same amperage and the same type of plug, and plug it back into the camera, no problem. So the first thing to go, at least I'm talking outside now, was the power supply. So I replaced this power supply with this power supply, and I was back in business for another month. What also happened is this third wire that I tried to show you and couldn't, it rusted. It rusted to the point where it actually fell off. So I just cut it to make it nice and clean, and there's no more reset. So if I have to reset the camera, I would unplug the power supply and I would reset it. So this was aggravating. This rusting was pathetic. If this is made for outdoors, which it is, this shouldn't rust. Yes, you can wrap it in plastic, but if it's outdoor, that means this whole piece should be capable of withstanding the outdoor elements. Now, I had both ranges. I had one camera in Rhode Island, so I got the snow, sleet, hail, wind, and salt water on the camera. This particular camera was outside, pardon me, and this got heat up to 120 degrees in the desert sun, and this was working flawlessly until the same thing started happening. The power pack went, and then, of course, the reset button went, but it was still working. Then what happened is the actual Wi-Fi, and this happened on both cameras, both of these Foscam cameras, both of them, in 2 completely different states. The Wi-Fi died. It will not work on Wi-Fi. So that really was annoying. So what I did to get around it, because I didn't have another outdoor camera, and I'd be damned if I was going to buy another Foscam camera, I called them. They said it was out of warranty. They basically didn't want to hear about the problem. So what the Gadget Professor did was he actually went, let me grab this here, and I actually used one of these Actiontech Wi-Fi adapters. So I actually ran a wire, this plugged into the wall on my router end, and then I ran a cable along the wall to get the internet to this, plugged it in the wall. And then outside on the porch, in my outlet on the porch, I actually plugged this in and ran the Ethernet cable from this to this part, and voila, it worked. So I got another month out of it, and now I'm sad to say that this camera is totally shot, going into the garbage, and I'm not too thrilled with it. Now, let's take a look at what the interface actually looks like. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not, but we will try. This is actually the login that you would get for whatever type of camera you have, and I'm on the actual Foscam camera right now because I do have an indoor camera set up. And essentially, you have to go through a setup procedure. You have to put in the IP address, which is fairly simple and fairly easy to do. And of course, the reason you would want any of these security cameras is obviously to monitor what's going on in your home or your office or wherever it may be outside. And all these cameras, pretty much no matter what brand, come with the functionality, and I've covered these before, they come with the functionality of allowing you to put your email address in or multiple email addresses in, and as soon as someone actually crosses the camera and there's motion, this will actually video record it or take a picture and send you the email with the timestamp and a date on it. So it's really good, and I've used these in a lot of situations. My cousin, I set one up for him in Florida. He has a condo there, and he actually lives in Connecticut, so some guys were going to paint the place and tile the floor to a condo that he just moved in. And he put one of these cameras up on the wall, and the guys told him that they were well underway, and he could look through the camera and see that they hadn't done a thing. So they certainly come in handy. So essentially, there's two things you need to do. When you hook this up, there's software that brings you through step 1, step 2, step 3. And it's pretty simple to set up. The part that gets very difficult, and I shouldn't say difficult, the part that gets frustrating if you're not used to doing it, is the step that takes you from seeing it in your home, watching something on home, to being able to watch it on your cell phone or watch it on a remote computer somewhere where you're not in your home. And in order to do that, you have to do what's called port forwarding. And I'm not going to get into that right now because it's a little advanced, and I don't want to make people go like, oh my God, I'll never buy one of these. It's too hard. It is a little bit involved. I'll tell you that right now. But you can call your internet provider, whether it's Cox or Verizon, whoever you may have, and they will, Comcast, they will, if they're good, run you through how to port forward this camera. And it's just a bunch of settings that you have to fill out, not only on the software, and I'll show you this in a second, that you get with the camera, but you do have to go into your router and adjust that. And again, if you've never done it, it becomes very confusing, and that's why you need someone that knows how to port forward, or you can have Verizon or Comcast or whoever it may be, their tech support on the phone tell you how to accomplish the port forwarding. So now that we're through with that long explanation, I am going to actually log in, and again, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. So this is what the camera software looks like, and right now I'm going to go into device management, and I'm trying to give you a little feel for what you can adjust. So you have what's called alias settings. So if you want your cousin or someone to watch the camera, you can give them a special username and password. They all come with date and time stamps. So right now I'm set to Mountain Standard Time, which is fine. I'm in Arizona. Sometimes there's an Arizona button, not on this camera because Arizona doesn't change the time zone. So it will also sync the clock inside the camera, the internal clock, with the government time. So that's actually a choice, a function that you can have. And then you have basic user settings where, again, you can add multiple passwords and usernames, and you can give them different types of security functionality. You can have someone be administrator, which they could change everything on the camera, including your password. You can have a visitor, you can have an operator, and again, all the cameras that are security cameras, IP security cameras, have all this functionality built into it. Here's your basic network settings, and these are things that I talked about before that you'll have to set up when you first purchase the camera. And they're very simple settings. It's asking you your IP address, which you can find out very simply by just querying your computer. And there's instructions that tell you how to do that. Your subnet mask, your gateway, your DNS server, your port, which you assign, and that's part of what the port forwarding is, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Then there's a mechanism inside where you can search for the wireless network that you're on in your house and click that and put in the username and password, and that will make this automatically connect to the Wi-Fi so you don't have to have an Ethernet cable. So there are a bunch of other services. Here's the mail service that I was talking about. And here you have up to 4 people that you can put in 4 different emails, that if something happens, if someone crosses that path in the camera, 4 different people can be emailed and it's instantaneous. They have alarm settings that you can have an alarm go off, and a bunch of other things that you can do. They also have what's called a real-time PTZ setting. And what that is, it's not for these cameras because these are stationary. These don't rotate. This camera will rotate, but what you can do is you can put, you have like 6 or 7 different categories. If you push button 1, it's here. Push button 2, and you could set it to go up high. Push button 3, it can look at the refrigerator. So you can have various rotations set on these cameras where you can't, obviously, on a fixed camera like an outdoor camera. So that gives you a feeling for the different types of settings that come with these cameras. And last but not least, you have a factory reset, and here's the key one. If you want to reboot the camera if it dies and you're far away, like I have a camera in Rhode Island, and if I have to reboot it, I can reboot it just by going to the menu and clicking reboot. Now, let's take a look and see if we can see any video. This is live video, and there we go. This camera, and again, I don't know what it's going to look like when we do the podcast, but it's pretty clear right here. This is a view of a camera outside of my front door. And actually, folks, what I'm going to tell you is kind of weird, but I'm not using an outdoor camera. I'm using one of the indoor cameras, and I have this shining through a window. And as you can see, it works flawlessly. And you don't have, if you have a window and you want to put the camera in the window, it's fine. And what's nice about these is if you want to go up, you have the full flexibility of rotating up and rotating down. Let's see here. It's catching up with me, but there you go. And of course, you can go side to side. And if you want, you can put it on, I think this is it, horizontal patrol. So now this will automatically move almost 180 degrees to the left. And you can see the window frame right there. You can see the inside of the house a little bit there. And there's the wall. And it stops. It can't go any further. Up there you go. That's the there's the wire where it's setting down. And when it can't go any further, which it can't, now it will go back in the complete other direction. So as you can see, these are quite functional and quite useful. And you also have the ability to stop this anywhere you want and set it anywhere you want. And you also have the ability to adjust those point settings up, high, left, right, low, whatever you want. So if I want to stop it, I'll just hit stop right there. And I didn't catch that in time, but let's bring the camera down. And as you can see, it functions quite well. Now you also have the ability to set this for indoor or outdoor. Even though it is indoor, you can set it for outdoor because it's obviously brighter out there and you will overdrive the camera. You also have a brightness control and a contrast control. So there's a lot of functionality built into these cameras, and pretty much they're all the same. Now, how much do they cost? Well, if you go on to Amazon, this particular camera is $91.99. It's on Prime, so it's free shipping. But I must tell you, in all honesty, I would never buy another Foscam outdoor camera. If it was $50, I wouldn't buy one. Both of them have broke. I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with their tech support. And as I said, I hate to bash anybody, but my experience has been not really great, particularly with these outdoor cameras. When you buy 2 and they both break, and they both break the same way, in the same fashion. The power supply broke first, then that reset button rusted out, then the Wi-Fi went, and then the camera went, and it went on both cameras, and one was in Rhode Island and one was Arizona. That's it for me, so that's enough. So I don't recommend the outdoor ones. And you know what? If you're pretty clever, you can take an indoor camera and you can get a plastic box and hang it in there, or hang this camera upside down, because you can, again, you can easily adjust for which way the camera's facing. But I wouldn't be surprised if these worked well. Now, obviously, they're not made for outdoor use. I mean, clearly they're not. But if you're clever enough and get some type of plastic insert box or whatever, I'm sure you can engineer a way around that. But the simplest way to do it, and it's certainly a lot cheaper, is to buy one of the indoor cameras and stick it out a window, and I think you'll be fine. So Hopefully you enjoyed the Gadget Professor today. I enjoyed bringing episode 129 to you. Have a very happy Halloween, and I will see everybody next week on the Gadget Professor. Thanks for tuning in.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.